And here we are live at Baden Masters 2011. I'd like to welcome everyone in front of the screen to our webcast. We are heading into the quarterfinals here. The first end is on the go, and you see Andy Lang of the team around Andy Kapp from Germany, who's playing against no one else than Thomas Ulsrud from Norway. My name is Daniel Schifferle, and I'm covering from the Baden Masters 2011. Thank you very much for tuning in. As you can see, this first end was opened pretty offensively. We've got many rocks in the game, many rocks in play. Right now, we've got a red rock right in the middle of the house on the button. And this one, of course, belongs to Team Germany around Andy Kapp. Andy Kapp is looking to score at least 2 here. He's having hammer, whereas Thomas Ulsrud from Norway, who's now standing in the hack, is looking for a steal in this end. As you can see, very typical for the Norwegian foursome. They have really colorful pants here. After Vancouver 2010, after their participation in the Olympic Winter Games, this really became the characteristic symbol of the Norwegian national team around Thomas Ulsrud to have colorful pants. Now they're looking for a freeze here. Looks really wide to me. A little bit too heavy. Thomas Ulsrud is not able to get to Andy Lang's shot. Andy Kapp, of course, happy about that, calling to his fourth to just draw another one into the 4th foot in order to score 2 in his first end. As I mentioned before, this is the quarterfinal of the Baden Masters 2011, the first event on the Curling Champions Tour here in Europe. Every single team playing in this quarterfinal is in the money, so everyone gets some cash. Andy Lang, 4th of Team Germany around Skip Andy Kapp, trying to draw right in the center of the house. They need to sweep it really hard here. Sudden movement. Are they able to drag it by? They are just able to take it by that guard. Are they able to keep it on track to be second? And they are. Great sweeping by the German sweepers here. What an effort. So Andy Kapp scored 2 in the first end here. Let me introduce you to the players of this quarterfinal game. On Andy Kapp's team, we've got on lead position Andreas Kempf. He's 44 years old, played since 1983. He's got Facebook, and his major success is a second at the World Championships. Then on the second position, we've got Daniel Neuner, 23 years old. He's a student, and he just joined this team this year. Then the German legend Andy Kapp on 3rd position, age 43. He started curling in 1981, has Facebook, and got many major successes, just as the 2 mentioned here. Playing 4th rocks, Andy Lang, 32 years of age. He started curling in 1995. He's also on Facebook. You can follow Team Kapp, They're from the Allgäu in Germany. They have a very own website, www.teamkapp.de. And these guys playing right here are, of course, the Norwegian national team around skip Thomas Ulsrud. Even though those guys don't need any introduction, I'm gonna do it anyway. We've got on lead position Håvard Vatt Pettersson. He's 27 years old and he just won the silver medal in Vancouver 2010. Just as Christopher Swa on second position, he did the same. He's also on Facebook if you want to get in touch with him. And then on third position we have Torger Nergård. This guy already played with Paul Truelsen, the legendary player from Norway. His major successes as well, the silver medal in Vancouver. And Thomas Ulsrud, whose occupation is manager. He's actually the manager of a sun tanning studio. Look at him, he's the sunny boy, and you can see that too. Then we've got Ole Ingvaldsen, you know him, he's the coach. He used to be the coach of Paul Truelsen as well. He led those guys to their major success. And you can follow those red-nosed guys here on their website, teamulsrud.com. Back to our game here, the score is 2-0 in favor of Kapp. And we just see a beautiful hit and roll executed by Team Norway. Putting the Germans early on in this end in quite a bit of trouble. My name is Daniel Schifferle. I'm covering this event for Laola1.tv. You are very welcome to ask questions. Just write us an email onto our email address, which is live@curlingchampionstour.org. We're happy to answer any question which we find in our email account. So Daniel Neuner trying to remove that yellow rock. He succeeds, but he can't save the shooter. No rock in the house right now. That's why Thomas Ulsrud is just going for another come around here. And you can see this Norwegian team, they really brought some color into the really sometimes a bit slow sport of curling. Not only with their pants, but with their entire way of playing and way of behaving. When you watch these guys, you can see even on this competitive level, they still have fun being on the ice, and that is one of the most important things in any kind of sports, I think. This time around, the Norwegians actually jammed. They were not able to get that draw by the guard, which gives the Germans the opportunity to go behind the guard themselves. Of course, they're trying to steal in this end. That's why they're drawing in the center of the house, whereas the Norwegians are trying to score 2 or maybe more and trying to get the game to the side. Very classic behavior, very classic strategy in curling here. Even though we have beautiful weight by this German rock, it just didn't curl quite enough. And especially on this kind of surface we have here at the Baden Master 2011, it is easily possible to remove this rock, even though it's partially covered by the guard. So it's Christopher Swa's task to remove the shot rock, which is sitting right on the button. Wow, actually, I would have not expected Christopher Swa to miss such a shot. It's a standard rock, but as you can see, even Olympic silver medalists miss from time to time. Of course, it's really early in the season. It's the very first event of the World Curling Tour here. No big deal. We're early in the game. Still, Andy Kapp is going to use that miss for himself and close down the way to his shot a little bit more here.
Sauber! Sauber, Jungs! Sauber! Mit Druck sauber!
You might have noticed already, looking at the German players, some of them have a different kind of shoe than the other ones have. That has one simple reason. The characteristics of this team are their shoes, whereas the Norwegians have their colorful pants. Both Andy Kapp and his brother, or at least his name brother, both of them have the same kind of shoes. They built them on by their own, simple running shoes with a slider attached to one of them. They have been playing with them ever since they made them. These are their lucky shoes. Let's see whether they have luck in this game today.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, weg! Whoa! Whoa!
The Norwegian third here looking to move things in the forefoot. The weight looks pretty heavy. And he was just able to push that red rock out of just far enough, I think. It's pretty close anyway. If one of these rocks is going to count in the end, I'm pretty convinced that we are going to see a measure here. Once again, I'd like to remind you that we are happily answering questions. Just send us an email onto live@curlingchampionstour.org. We're trying to answer as many questions as possible.
Ich spiele mal 90, dann können wir ein bisschen wischen. Ah, 70, okay. 85, ja.
So again, Andy Kapp trying to make it as hard as possible for the Norwegians to get that shot rock. I think once again he's trying to get in front of the other rock, biting the 12-foot circle, telling after the weight. He's going in even deeper. He's going right for a freeze since Andy Kapp came up a little bit too heavy on that one. Though this isn't a bad position at all. Let's see what the Norwegians have in their pockets.
Hä? Ja. Wo ist denn der?
Torgen Nergård trying to move things once again in the forefoot. He was really tight on that release. Heavy brushing here by the Norwegians. Are they able to drag it by this front guard? They won't be able to do so, but they're opening up the house, which is of course option B.
Nur raus mit selber rauslaufen, von dem her kann man Rad spielen.
Centerguard, ja. Ja, du musst halt eher auf der Seite gehen. Ey, selbe Eis wie bei mir. Du spielst genau denselben Stein. Tu sie aber aktiv spielen. Ja, aber spiel sie aktiv, dann zieht er weg.
Lying both shot and second, really close to the forefoot, or even to the button.
Huh?
Kapp, of course, is asking his fourth to put up a guard in front of those two rocks. Standard situation here. There shouldn't be a problem for Andy Lang to put up this guard. Then again, we have quite difficult conditions here in Baden. It's still summer in Switzerland, it's still pretty warm, and it sure affects the ice surface. We have really swingy ice, which makes it far more difficult to call a shot. So if you miss that one moment where a rock is starting to curl, it's almost impossible to keep it on track. No problems in this case though. Beautifully played, well done. The two rocks in the center are covered. But it just came a little bit too close to the house. That's why we're most probably going to see a run back here. Thomas Ulsrud, the experienced player from Norway, is going to try to get rid of as many red rocks in the house as possible with this heavily weighted run back takeout here. Definitely the first key shot of this game. Thomas Ulsrud with a backswing takeout. Let's see what the reward of this is. Hard brushing already. Oh my god, that is bad luck. It looks to me as if Thomas Ulsrud was a little bit too tight on that one, and as mentioned before, once these rocks are starting to curl, they are really moving. No chance for the sweepers at all to keep it on track. And they even lost the yellow rock. On the backside of this house, this game is at the moment really going in favor of the German team, Andy Kapp. And the Norwegians are not liking it. Once again, as a quick reminder, we are answering your questions. If you got a question or if you just want to say hi, write us an email telling us your name and from where you are watching. Just write us to live@curlingchampionstour.org. We look forward to your mail.
Machst den Draht zu. Besser. Ja, ja, liegen daher. Ja. Ey, spielen so her, da her. Ja? Ja, kann auch. Ey, der kann auch weißer sein da.
Andy Kapp and his team from Germany are in a very comfortable position here. They're lying shot second and third at the moment. Andy Lang with the last shot of this end for the Germans is going to put up a guard once again. He wants to make it as hard as possible for Thomas Ulsrud to score in this end. All the Germans are looking for is, of course, a steal. But this rock is moving once again really hard.
Ja.
Look at this, that was what I was talking about.
Ha? Nee, passt schon.
We got really swingy ice, and if you don't have the perfect weight down, it's going to end up just like this ended up here. Hey, just a quick question to the public, to the guys watching here. What are you really thinking of these colorful pants of the Norwegians? I'm just hanging out on Facebook here and see that they have 549,572 fans on Facebook. Not the Norwegian team, the Norwegian curling pants. 549,572 fans. So, what do you guys think? Do you like him? Do you like him not? Do you like what they're doing to curling? Just write us an email onto live@curlingchampionstour.org. We're looking forward to your thoughts. And actually, I just got a question in from Lisa coming from Canada. She's wondering which curling events Loyola 1 is going to cover. Well, we're from the Swiss team here. We're going to cover every single Champions Tour event happening in Switzerland. On curlingchampionstour.com, you are able to get the dates. And as far as I know, the Norwegians are covering the Oslo Cup, and the Scots are covering the Perth Masters as well. So Loyola1.tv is covering pretty much every single event happening in Europe. And one big event just happened in this game here. A huge house for the Germans. Wow, to be quite honest, I didn't expect that. The Germans are gonna be off to such a great start. Thomas Ulsrud will give his best to fight his way back, I'm sure. And I'm completely convinced that we will see a great game here. Thank you for joining us. My name is Daniel Schifferle. We are covering the Baden Masters 2011.
Hardlinie! Alles Linie!
And if you want to find out which other events we are covering, just go on www.curlingchampionstour.org. That's where you find all the dates. I hope I could help you out with that one, Lisa.
Wollte Nase spielen, ja?
wollte Nase spielen. Und ist voll overcurled. Die haben voll durchknüppelt. Ja. Haben sie weniger erwischt, hätte sie an unserem noch getickt und er rüber. Wir genau einen Zentimeter an unserem vorne vorbei und hat den hinteren noch ein Drittel getroffen.
Ach so, also zwischen die durch praktisch.
Ja, genau. Ein Drittel getroffen und
Achso, und er wollte nur smooth auf die Nase spielen.
Genau.
So Thomas Ulsrud went back to the scoreboard and put up 4 points for his opponent. And I'm sure he was not happy doing that. Look at that. Who would have expected this start in that game? Ulsrud came in as a favorite. Of course, Kapp has the experience. And the Germans got off to a great start here. They're leading this game after only 2 ends, 6 against 0. Norway has to come back now. And as they are fighting their way back, we're asking once again, what are you guys thinking of the Norwegian curling pants? They got over 570,000 fans on Facebook. Are you a fan as well? If you are, why is that so? Just write us an email to live@curlingchampionstour.org. My name is Daniel Schifferle from Baden Masters 2011. So the Norwegians have put up a second corner guard. Nice separation between those two guards. They're pretty much on the same height. That's exactly where you want them to be. Just avoid any possibility for a double takeout. Daniel Neuner is now looking for Germany to clear one of those guards.
Ganz weg! Ganz weg!
And he's actually struggling a bit. The shooter is still in the game, providing a second guard. At least it's on the other side. Still the guy with the rainbow-colored pants here. That's no one else than Thomas Ulsrud, silver medalist from Vancouver 210. If someone can handle such a game, it's definitely him. I'm keen to see whether he's able to fight his way back on the scoreboard or not. There's still 6 ends to go.
Oh, dass du nah triffst, Daniel. Ja! Push! Oh, oh! Wow! Weg! Weg! Schön. Ups. Na gut. Ja, ein bisschen verguckt. Ein bisschen verguckt. Wollten, dass er ein bisschen mehr reinkickt noch.
Aber andererseits, wenn die hast, mal zum Schieben.
Machen wir, wenn er nochmal einen reinspielt.
Je nachdem, wie tief er halt ist.
Gerade drauf dann oder?
Oder drum umgehen.
Nee, mitgehen nicht. Ja. Immer aufmachen. Sind 6-2 vorne. Er bleibt so weit offen, dass man von. Er bleibt weiter offen. Dann kann ich ihn ausnehmen. Ja, aber nicht so viel. Beide.
Vorne rum?
Ja.
Ja.
Kommt schon schnell. So mit 40
Ja.
da treffen. Wichtig ist, dass einer weg ist. Er kommt flott mit 40. Ja. Schau, dass beide weg, dass der vorne rüber geht. Der muss schnell sein. Der kommt ziemlich schnell. Kommt ziemlich schnell.
So Kapp of Germany is leading this game 6-0, and now he is trying to clean things up here, getting rid of as many yellow rocks as possible, but he was only able to get rid of one yellow rock. And we got in another email into our email account here. T442 is saying hi from Winnipeg, Canada. Go Jets, go. Thanks for tuning in to our webcast here. We're glad that you're enjoying the show. So are we right now. The Norwegians trying to fight their way back onto the scoreboard here.
Ich bin dran. Ich wundere, ja, ich bin.
We've just seen a really nicely played freeze by the Norwegians.
Ja, aber warum? Wenn ihr jetzt,
As you can see, they're completely aware of the angles. That's exactly where they want this rock to be.
Was will denn er da machen?
This way,
Nein, lass ihn doch
the Germans can try to get rid of this yellow rock, but they won't be able to hit the yellow rock in the back of the house at the same time.
Wenn er den wirklich perfekt spielt, dann
So
kann
you
man
see
den
the
schießen,
angles are really important in curling. That's why it's often compared to snooker or billiards.
So, Gard. Soll erst den Schwierigen noch die Lücke durchmachen. Was brauchen wir da? Okay, einfach Gard voll in den Gelben.
Far more than 500,000 fans of the curling pans of the Norwegians on Facebook. And these 570 something thousand fans, they're not going to be happy about the result here right now. We have Kapp from Germany leading this game 6-0. Trying to make it as hard as possible for Thomas Ulsrud and his foursome of Norway to come back. And they're doing a pretty good job, those Germans. Look at Thomas Ulsrud's body position. It's almost devastating to see him like that this early on in the quarterfinals of the Baden Masters 2011. No one would have expected this game to be that clear this early on, especially not Thomas Ulsrud. For myself, I still believe in those guys though. I still believe that they are able to fight their way back. Let's see whether I'm right or not. Here's Torgen Nergard, third of Team Norway, trying to change the angles a little bit in favor of the Norwegian team. And look at this anxious facial expression of Torgen Nergård. He's not quite agreeing with the sweeping call of Thomas Ulsrud. Still, his shot turned out pretty decently. Got some movement there out of the rocks. Still, though, the Germans are lying shot in second. Everything runs in their favor right now. Curling can be such a tough game when you're trying to catch up, especially against such a legendary player as Andy Kapp, who must be one of the most experienced, not only European players, but competitive curling players in general out there. But we have a big miss here by the Germans. And that could be the possibility for the Norwegians, the one break they were waiting for. And Andy Kapp is not happy about that one. In fact, now you can see how important it is to keep as many rocks as possible in the house at this kinds of situation. If Thomas Ulsrud is able to get rid of both of these red rocks, he's lying 3 all of a sudden. The momentum in this end might change. I'm pretty keen to see what happens, and I guess so are you, so let's just be silent for a couple of minutes and see what this guy is doing.
Solid boards.
Thomas Ulsrud, skip of the Norwegian national team, preparing for a key shot here.
Oh, slow, back, back, helt back, helt back.
And he's wide, but he got really lucky on that one. Look at that, and it actually went right across the house and didn't touch a single yellow rock. Wow. Even the most professional and best players in the world get lucky from time to time.
Also wenn flott spielst,
all of a sudden this entire end looks completely differently, since there are 4 yellow rocks in the house and 1 red one, this one being second though.
du kannst einen da reinlegen, aber schwierig ist es.
Let's see what Andy Kapp's plan is
Blöd ist nur, wenn jetzt viel
to save as much as possible here.
Dann haben wir ein Problem. Aber
And once again, I'm reminding you, if you have any questions considering writing to us, we have our email address on the bottom of the screen. It's live@curlingchampionstour.org. We're happily answering questions.
Selben wie wieder. Gleiches Eis. No? So he missed the first one, he have to make the second one.
And we just got an email in from Iceland. Someone is watching us in Iceland, and it's someone who actually curls as well. They are preparing for the EMCC in the C division in Tarnby this year, studying the strategy, and therefore greetings to Iceland from Baden, where the Germans were just able to get rid of a couple of yellow rocks. Still, there's a yellow rock lying shot. Unfortunately, though, there is absolutely no possibility for the Norwegians to get rid of both of the red rocks. Therefore, they're only going to draw into the forefoot in order to score 2 points. That's the least they have to get in this end in order to be back in the game.
Okay, mellom 80 og 90. Ellers er det bare flatt der. Medium action. Inn i midten allerede, altså. Inn i midten allerede.
Thomas Ulsrud with a standard situation shot here. All he has to do is get into the 8-foot circle. Still, the sweepers worked pretty hard on that one. No problem at all, though, no pressure. They got the 2 points they needed so really bad in that end. They're back on the board, but still, the score is devastating at 6-4 in favor of the German team. So who's going to win this game? Is it going to be Team Pants or Team Shoes? Right now, Team Shoes is 4 points ahead. This is Daniel Schifferle covering that quarterfinal game here from the Baden Masters 2011. It's the very first event of the Curling Champions Tour. Thanks for joining us tonight. If you have any questions or just want to say hi, write us to live@curlingchampionstour.org.
Fin linje. Ok, nå må vi gå for nære. Linja fin. Gjerne kølle litt. Wow.
And Thomas Ulsrud won't be happy about that one. That rock went into the house, which is the last thing you want in this situation. We used that little break here to give you a short update on what's happening on the other sheets. As mentioned before, we're in the quarterfinals here. On sheet 1, we've got a Swiss battle between 2 young teams. It's Team Hess against Team Michel. Team Michel leading 2-0 right now. Then, 2 old friends are meeting on the sheet number 2. It's no one else than David Murdoch, who's standing in the hack right now against Team Finland around Uzi Pavniemi. You might remember this guy from the Olympic Games. Team Finland is leading the game 2-1. Then on our sheet, you know what's happening here. It's Ulsrud against Germany. Ulsrud has not a really colorful game right now. All he's trying is to get back on the board. He just scored 2 points in the third end, so now it's a score of 6-2 in favor of Team Germany around Andy Kapp. And on our last sheet, we've got world silver medalist from 2011, Tom Brewster from Scotland, Aberdeen, Scotland. He's leading the game against Maiko Oeninger from Switzerland with a score of 3-1, which takes us back to our coverage. You see, this time around, the Norwegian lead was a little bit more accurate with his weight, putting up a front guard just as Thomas Ulsrud wanted him to do.
Læg her. Am still ein. Alle Außenbrems, sauber! Okay, schaut gut aus. Ja, nur sauber, Jungs. Genau die.
German lead,
Linie ist super.
playing a clean draw right to the T-line.
Ja.
Being 4 points ahead, there's absolutely no pressure at all on the German foursome around Andy Kapp. Right now they can just play pretty much whatever they want. Well, Thomas Ulsrud has a lot of pressure on not only himself, but his entire team. Of course, a team of the skill level the Norwegians have, their goal for this Curling Champions Tour is to win it all, actually. Right now, it doesn't go into their favor. Daniel Neuner trying to open up the middle. And he's wide on that one. If he misses that, that would be really crucial. But he just hits enough of that rock. This time he was lucky that we got that swingy ice here at the Baden Masters 2011. On straight ice, there would have been no chance for this rock to come back. Thomas Ulsrud looking a bit lost. Seeing those guys not to know what to do, not knowing what they're going to do. Quite a devastating image. Knowing that these guys won the silver medal in Vancouver 2010. Now they decided on what their plan is. Let's see whether this one gets them on the scoreboard again or not.
Hvor lang er vi? Hvor lang da?
And that's, of course, a huge miss by Christopher Swa here. Really nothing is going in for them right now. They are gonna be really frustrated. Most of all, of course, Christopher Swa himself. One of the foursome from Norway, who are named by the fellow curlers just Fancy Pants. Well, Fancy Pants, they are in big trouble here.
Oh, oh. Yep. Yep. First. First. Alles.
Really hard brushing on that one. Are they able to keep it on track? And they even get a roll out of it.
Okay.
It rolled to a perfect position for the Germans, right in front of the other one. Though, as you can see, there is an angle on that freeze. And Thomas Ulsrud tries to use that one by drawing in behind those two rocks, avoiding a possible raise by the Germans.
Fin linje, hold den I gang. Hold den ute der, trang om noe. Farta. Japp, hard da. Hard. Linja bra, den. Hard. Aldri stopp på den, gutter. Hard, hard, hard. Fortsett, fortsett. Aldri videre. Hard, hard, hard. Hard, hard, hard. Han køller nå. Kom igjen. Gå sidelengs nå. Kom igjen. Kom igjen, litt til. Litt til.
And look at that, it finishes beautifully, but just curled, just quite, a hair more of a curl on that one. That's what the Norwegians were looking for. Didn't quite happen. Won't be a big problem for Andy Kapp to take that one out of the house. Thomas Ulsrud is not happy.
Yep. Yep. Sauber, oh, sauber.
Plass! Foreløpig har vi plass! Foreløpig har vi plass! Linje er der nå. Strøken linje. Strøken. Japp! Japp! Hard! Hard! Og plass, 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 plass. Japp, 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 japp! Hard! Avstand, avstand. Kom igjen, Sva.
While the Norwegians are coming right around those two rocks once again, we got in another question. This time it's from Pete from Ontario, Canada. He's wondering whether Andy Kapp's move to the third stones is permanent or not, or whether it's just something he's trying out right now. Honestly, I'm not quite sure, but I think, after what I've heard lately, it is a permanent move, because it just gives that one little thing that was missing in the German way of playing, in Kapp's way of playing. Of course, he's a really good shooter. He's good on draws as well. But Andy Lang is fitting the fourth position a little bit better right now. And that's why they moved. I'm not sure whether it's permanent, but I'm pretty positive that it is. I hope I could answer your question, Pete, and greetings from Baden. So now the time has come for the Germans to open up those two red rocks. Actually, what they are trying to use here is the so-called drag effect. You see, those two rocks are really frozen onto each other, and they're trying to hit the front rock so that it might go onto the shot rock, and they succeed in their plan. Beautifully executed by Andy Kapp. As I mentioned just a few seconds ago, he's a really good shooter, and you can see what I meant right now. Once again, the Norwegian Fancy Pants are in huge trouble here in Baden.
bisschen weiter außen hätte er treffen müssen, dann wäre der wahrscheinlich da drin gewesen und der wäre weiter drüben so.
Ja, genau.
Vielleicht.
And look at that. Both Kapp and Andy
Ja, vi
Lang.
gjør det på første.
They
så
have
tar vi
a,
det
well, let's say signs of a smile on their faces. Not anymore, but still they have enough time to talk with each other. Complete difference to the one game we covered before in this event, where nothing went for them. And they ended up losing to Rasmus Stjernia from Denmark. Now they made it to the quarterfinals no matter what, and they're looking pretty decently right now if you ask me. Thomas Ulsrud, the manager of a sun tanning studio from Norway, delivering his rock.
Er schmiert er jetzt. Was hat er was?
And did you hear that whistle? One typical thing about the Ulsrud team. Whenever he wants his sweepers really to stop sweeping, he whistles. Another one of those tiny little characteristics of this team.
Huh?
Ich meine, der geht schon so rum. Wir sehen wahrscheinlich.
Even though that
links
yellow
nachher.
rock ended up
Aber ich
quite
würde ihn drauf
okay
fallen,
back
muss erst
there,
mal einen zweiten
pretty
bringen.
well placed.
Genau Nase.
The Germans have several different options to get rid of that rock. And since they're 4 points ahead, they don't care whether they lose the shooter or even another red rock. All they want right now is to get rid of that yellow rock.
Genau Nase.
And they're going to try it with a run back, if I'm not mistaken. Andy Lang fourth for the German team. Releasing for a run back here. And it looks as if he's really wide on that one. Oh wow, what a break for the Norwegian team. That's exactly the one mistake they were looking for. Still, this wasn't the last rock of Andy Lang. Even though this yellow rock is hanging around, in the end it won't help a lot in this end, I guess. So Thomas Ulsrud looking for a steal in this end. What a tough task it is sometimes. Skip of the Norwegian national team, Thomas Ulsrud, releasing his last rock of the fourth end here in the quarterfinals at the Baden Masters 2011. My name is Daniel Schifferle and I'm covering the Curling Champions Tour 2011 here. And actually they got a pick. What a bad moment for a pick. Even though the Norwegian sweepers were sweeping all the way, this rock picked something, a little piece of dirt, maybe a piece of rubber of one of the grippers, and they have no chance to control this rock. Really, really bad luck for the Norwegians. You can tell after both their faces and the body language here That's completely devastating for them. And I'm sure 572,000 fans of the Norwegian Pants on Facebook, they feel with them right now. So Andy Lang of Germany looking for a hit and stick open takeout. Standard situation here. No problems at all. And that's it. They call it a game. Shaking hands after only 4 ends. What a devastating result for the Norwegian national team. So many people here in Baden thought that they are the big favorites to win it all here. They were off to a really bad start, and in addition they had really bad luck here. My name is Daniel Schifferly. I covered this game of the Baden Masters 2011. Actually, we wanted to show you an exciting, close game which is going for 8 ends. Well, didn't quite happen. Thanks for tuning in anyways. I call it a day as well.
So you said you are friendly, but you shouldn't be so friendly. What happened to the one? I didn't see it.
I'm gonna play a soft takeout. Maybe I play it a bit too soft, just to give you one, and then it grabs and it goes. It doesn't matter if it's deep.
That gives me a good feeling.
And I had in the first end I was too heavy, so I thought, well, just play it a bit down now.
I will take this win for the next 6 years.
Jeg snittar kameraman on. So I actually thought I could call it a day as well. Well, my director thought that's a bad idea. Of course, we're at the quarterfinals of the first event of the Curling Champions Tour here. We can't just call it a day after 4 ends. And that's why we are trying to show you another game. Please excuse that little tilt on the camera perspective. We thought we would cover only one sheet. Now we're ending up showing you with a little bit of a different angle the game between David Murdoch from Lockerbie, Scotland, against Usi Palmniemi. I will just call it Team Usi from Finland. You will probably remember him from the Olympic Games, and I'm sure I don't have to introduce Murdoch. That's the guy looking just a tiny bit like a monkey right now in the house there. But he's a big legend in this sport. Great fellow. And he's leading this game with 1 point. At 4 ends, we're at the score 3-2. Uzi and his Finnish team lying shot at the moment though. So that's Usi Palmniemi there. In fact, he already quit his curling career a couple of years ago and tried to run for the Finnish parliament. Well, didn't happen. That's why he's back on the curling stage, international curling stage now. So once again, if you have any questions to this game or to the game we just showed you, write us an email onto life@curlingchampionstour.org. We're happy to answer your questions. Yeah, you can see the angles a little bit better from this perspective. Once again, we're apologizing for that angle. We can't give you a top perspective onto the house here, since we wanted to show you the game between Kapp and Ulsrud. Unfortunately, this game was over after only 4 ends. We're trying to get a statement from one of the skips in the next half hour, so stay tuned. You might hear what Team Pants or Team Shoes has to say to the result. Right now we're here at the game between Team Usi from Finland and David Murdoch from Scotland, of course. Murdoch is leading right now with a score of 3-2 after 4 ends. Usi Palmniemi lying shot right now, though. So if you just joined us online, first of all, thank you for watching our webcast. We're apologizing that you are not seeing Andy Kapp and Thomas Ulsrud right now. As we announced, they were on the screen until a couple of minutes ago. The game is already over after 4 ends with a devastating score, 9-2, Kapp won. And Team Fancy Pants from Norway, Team Ulsrud, had to leave the stage here. What we're showing you, though, is the game between Usi Palmniemi and Murdoch. Murdoch looking for a race takeout, and he does so. He's succeeding. Lying shot and second now, partially behind the guard. Perfectly executed, exactly what he was planning to do. I'm keen to see what Usi Palmniemi has in pocket to answer to this shot. Finnish team looking to change things up in the forefoot. They got some movement there, got rid of one of the yellow rocks. But David Murdoch still lying shot. Now he has two possibilities, if not more. As he's pointing out, he can draw right into the forefoot from the other side. Or he can close down the takeout. If he's deciding to close the takeout down, he has the problem though that Team Finland can always raise that red rock top of the 12-foot there. That's why he decided to draw right into the rings, right onto the tee line on the other side there, lying second. David Murdoch, who is a full-time athlete by now. He used to be actually a farmer officially. Now he's a full-time athlete. He's about to throw his second and last shot in this fifth end. Looking to draw right onto the tee line. And my director just told me that we are going to have Andy Kapp sitting next to me here for a few statements. He's coming up in a couple of minutes. We are keen to know whether he expected that game to be that clear or not. Just as a reminder, if you just tune into our webcast, Andy Kapp beat Thomas Ulsrud in the quarterfinals of the Baden Masters 2011 with a devastating score of 9-2 after only 4 ends. And that's why we're showing you a different game right now. This game is between David Murdoch and Uzi Palmniemi from Finland. David Murdoch lying both shot and second right now. His second came in just a little bit too deep into the house there. It's not easy to tell from this perspective, but I'm thinking that Uzi Palmniemi is calling a hit and roll now. So Andy Kapp will be with me here in our studio in a few minutes. If you have any questions you always wanted to ask Andy Kapp, the legendary skip of the German team, one of the most experienced European curlers out there, write us an email to life@curlingchampionstour.org. If you have a question you want to ask Andy Kapp, you can ask him right now. life@curlingchampionstour.org is the address where you have to write your email to. So because of a miss by the Finnish team, we are now at the score 5-2. Murdoch was able to steal 2 points in the fifth end. 5-2 in favor of the Scottish team here. On sheet 1, at the same time, we have a Swiss battle going on between two young teams. It's Team Michel against Team Hess. Team Michel is leading the game 4-1. Also after 5 ends. And on sheet number 4, we have Tom Brewster leading the game against Maiko Oeninger, the guy in green there. He's a young Swiss player. Score is 4-2 at the moment, which takes us back to our game. So we just got an email in from Calgary, Canada. So hi to Calgary. We're glad that you're enjoying high-leveled European curling here on our webcast. You were mentioning those little alleyways leading to the hacks. That's actually nothing new here in Europe. It's quite common that we have hacks like that. It's been like that for many, many years. In fact, many competitive curlers are not fans of these hacks since they might get in the way of certain deliveries. So in every new venue, the Canadian style hack where only those two little black patterns are on the ice are usually built. So once again, greetings from Baden to Calgary. We're glad you're enjoying this webcast. So Murdoch is leading this game against Usipaniemi from Finland. As mentioned before, the score after 5 played ends is 5-2. Usipaniemi having hammer now. If you were wondering why the Scottish team is only sweeping with one sweeper from time to time, that's because the guy who just played this rock, he's got a pulled muscle ever since the first draw of this event here. He's able to deliver a rock, but he's unable to sweep at the moment. Of course, we here in the studio, we hope that he will get better and get well soon. So we got a clean free guard zone here. Still Murdoch lying with both shot and second rock in the house. The Finnish team got a little bit of movement here. They were looking for a freeze. But right now that's of course not bad for them. They have 2 rocks of backing there, and it's not an easy task for the Scots to get rid of that red rock without slamming away one of the yellow rocks as well. Of course, leading this game with 3 rocks, it wouldn't be a really big loss if they had to get rid of both the red rock and one of the yellow ones. In fact, David Murdoch is looking at the angles, and I'm thinking that he sees a way to get rid of all the rocks in the house. Let's see whether he's able or not. And in a few seconds, Andy Kapp, the legendary skip of the German team, who just defeated Thomas Ulsrud from Norway, will be sitting right next to me. Final call for questions. If you have questions to Andy Kapp, write them on life@curlingchampionstour.org. My name is Daniel Schifferle. We are covering the Baden Masters 2011, the first event of the Curling Champions Tour. Right now you're seeing Uzi Palmniemi standing in the hack, sliding out of the hack. He's of course the skip of the Finnish team, trying to defeat David Murdoch here in this quarterfinal game. David Murdoch is 3 points ahead. After 5 ends, the score is 5-2. Glenn Muirhead, of course the brother of the famous Eve Muirhead, skip of the female Scottish national team, with his very own style of sliding. You call that a Canadian Manitoban tuck. And as I announced before, sitting right next to me now is no one else than the German legend Andy Kapp.
Hi.
Congratulations on your devastating win actually against Thomas Ulsrud. Did you expect that game to be over after 4 ends?
No, we never expect like this. It was normally against Thomas. We always have close games, but it's nice on my last tournament on the Champions Curling Tour to win against them. And yeah, we're looking forward tomorrow to the semi-final.
Well, good luck for that one. We certainly enjoyed seeing you winning. Actually, I was mentioning to the public that their Norwegian curling pants have over 500,000 fans on Facebook. You have a characteristic symbol in your team as well, your special shoes.
Magic plexi shoes, yeah.
Yes.
We are building them the last 25 years.
The last 25 years, actually. That was like one question someone asked, so that was the answer. 25 years already.
Yep.
Do the shoes have a Facebook fan group as well?
We should start one. Right now we don't have one because when we started to make shoes, nobody knew what internet and Facebook is.
Of course.
So it's a good idea. We should start with our plexiglass fan side.
Yes. What are you thinking of the Norwegian pants?
I like them. They're fancy and they're changing every tournament, and I think they bring color into the sport, and that's what we need. If you look now, the teams, they have advertising on and different shirts. If you look now at Team Murdoch, like they have colorful shirts too and numbers on the back, and
exactly.
So it's I think it's improving the game. It's just good to watch, and not only black.
Yes,
on the
actually.
ice.
As you're saying, curling is usually quite a well, not a colorful sport with only ice surfaces and mostly dark dresses. And now with those numbering, I think that's a trend coming over from Canada, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny. It's looking like a soccer team or an American football team, and I think there's this I don't know a story behind every number. And right now, if the players like it, they should just use it.
Yes. So since I'm sure that you want to celebrate, well, I just want you to ask a couple of questions we get from our internet followers here. The first one was the one you've already answered. How long have you been using those shoes? 25 years. And the second one was, is that move to the position of a third a permanent one or something that you're just trying out right now?
Yeah, it's like Daniel Herberg is normally skipping the team and playing third. So Al Lang will, in the future, will play the skips rocks like this tournament. So I'm just the spare now because Daniel and Mess, they are on vacation. So Daniel is right now in South Korea and eating, I don't know, raw fish or whatever. So and and Mess is on vacation too. So because we're in Bavaria, we still have summer vacations. So that's why I was helping out this tournament.
Okay, so actually that's the answer to the next question as well. Your retire is permanent. Is that true?
For 1 year for sure. But if I like this year of retirement, then it's forever.
Then it's forever, okay.
So it's a testing retirement year. And yeah, I'm now on the road 26 years. Like 1985 was the first time I played Junior Worlds Championship. And the last 14 big events, Europeans, Worlds and Olympics, I played with my teams. And I think it's after 26 years, it's time to just have one retirement year and go skiing in the winter, not curling. And I think it's more fair to my work and the family just to take a year off and then see how it's working.
Yeah, well, we, of course, as a big curling fan, I'm not happy to hear that you're retiring, but after so many great years of curling, of course, we leave you that one.
Yep.
And, well, here in the tournament in this Bonspiel, you're still running. I wish you good luck for the rest of this Bonspiel, and now enjoy your beer.
Yep.
Yeah, have a good evening. It was
Thank you.
A big pleasure and big honor to have you here. This was Andy Kapp.
Bye.
Thank you. So this was Andy Kapp, the legendary German skip here, who just defeated Thomas Ulsrud 9-2. As we all heard him say, he's going to retire. In fact, he's only a spare player here. Of course, as being a big curling fan, I'm sad to hear that. But after 26 intense year of competitive curling, we leave him that one, and we hope that he's achieving a great result here at the Baden Master 2011 as a goodbye present, which takes us back to the game right here. The one we are covering now is Team Murdoch from Scotland against Uusipalniemi from Finland. Team Murdoch leading the game after 5 ends, 5-2. And Murdoch is not sitting shot right now. Uusipalniemi is frozen right on the button, and it will be Murdoch's task to get rid of that rock. weighted shot here by David Murdoch, and Glenn Muirhead is working away, but he's not able to drag that rock out of the house. Even though one of the Scottish players almost fell over. They really gave everything into that rock, but they didn't achieve what they wanted to. Usi Palmiemi is still lying shot on the edge of the 12-foot out there. My name is Daniel Schifferle, and I hope you're enjoying our webcast here from the Baden Masters 2011. If you have any questions, write us an email onto live@curlingchampionstour.org. We are trying to answer as many questions as possible. Once again, we'd like to apologize for the angle, the camera perspective you are watching this game here. We are only showing you this game because the other one was over that fast. The one we wanted to show you initially was on our webcast only for 4 ends, because after 4 ends, Andy Kapp from Germany defeated Fancy Pants from Norway, Team Ulsrud, with a devastating score of 9-2. Definitely not the score everyone has expected. Still, it happened. That's why we're showing you the Scottish flag, which is of course the national flag of David Murdoch, who's fighting here against Usi Palmiemi from Finland, who already retired a couple of years ago from his curling career and is now back on international stage. We're happy to see him back. If you like our webcast, we would love to have you during the day tomorrow online again. That's when we're showing both the semifinals and the finals. And of course, we are covering many events here in Europe. You'll find out which events are covered with our webcast when you check out the website www.curlingchampionstour.org. So check it out and send us your feedback on live@curlingchampionstour.org. And we got an interesting question by Sandy Morton here. He's asking how many hogline violations are going to be allowed. Well, apparently, and some of you might have noticed, there were quite a few here. To be quite honest, we have only a few umpires watching several sheets at the same time. These are all volunteers, no one is getting paid for this. That's why we ask you to be patient with them. They're doing a great job here. And of course, the teams are controlling each other on the sheets as well. So Sandy, we just don't have enough personnel right now to control every single hogline violation. Still, I think we see some great curling here. And I'm absolutely sure that these top-level players don't want to cheat. And if it happens, they don't make it on purpose. And we got another question here coming from Steve. He's wondering whether Murdoch's third is only playing third because of his injury, or whether this is a permanent position. According to the information I got in the studio here, in fact, Warwick Smith is still playing third for Team Murdoch. Apparently he was not able to come to the Baden Masters. That's why we got a spare player in there. If I'm mistaken, I'm apologizing, but that's the information I got here in my studio. As you can see, Uzi Palmiemi was able to score 2 in this important 6th end. That one got him back into the game, and he's in even ends. That means most probably he will have the last rock advantage in the last end if Murdoch is going to score in this end right here. So Steve, once again to your question, whether Murdoch's third is permanent or not, I dug a little bit deeper here and we actually got his team profile coming up, the one which is official for the Baden Masters. So you can check out the official positioning in his team right now. We got Richard Woods playing lead. He played curling since 1990. He's 32 years old. And his big idol is Henry Agassi. Then Ross Patterson, as you have thought. He would normally play second here. Right now, playing third though, as you've mentioned. 27 years of age. Glenn Muirhead, of course, the brother of the famous Eve Muirhead. By the way, you can see he's wearing the number 10 on the back of his shirt. And we got David Murdoch with number 17 on the back of his shirt. He's a full-time athlete now. Well, he used to be a farmer officially. Full-time athlete sounds a little bit better, I guess. David Ramsey is their coach. He's 54 years old. He's on Facebook as well. And he's a 2-time Scottish champion. Team Murdoch is playing out of the Curling Club of Lockerbie, their website www.teammurdoch.com. I'm sure on that one you find some more information of this newly founded team. Murdoch is playing with this year. So I hope this answered your question, Steve, and you're enjoying our webcast. So we're still covering that game between Murdoch and Uzi Palniemi live at the Baden Masters 2011. It's the quarterfinals, so both of these teams are already in the money now. We're at the, well, slowly coming to the end of the 7th end. Team Murdoch is leading 5-4. Uzi Palniemi now playing. He's looking to steal in this end. He's got a pretty nicely positioned front guard, center guard there. That's why he's going to draw right behind it. My name is Daniel Schifferle. I'm covering the Curling Champions Tour from Switzerland. I hope you're enjoying this webcast. If you do so, write us a little feedback onto live@curlingchampionstour.org. We're also very happy to answer any question you have. So we've just seen a nice come around by the Finnish team. Finnish just perfectly behind that guard. Though since the separation between the guard and that shot is pretty big, David Murdoch will be able to attack the rock either directly or open up the guard. We'll see what he's going to do right now. Once again, we're apologizing for the camera perspective in this game. Initially, we showed you another game between Andy Kapp from Germany and Thomas Ulsrud. This game was over after only 4 ends because Andy Kapp won 9-2. Thomas Ulsrud went off with a really bad start and was having some bad luck as well. Some of his rocks picked. And Murdoch with a really unusual miss here. Such a standard situation. Usually don't give any problems to David Murdoch. Still, he missed that one, which makes this game so much more interesting right now. Finland coming up with their last rock. Their line shot right on the button. They're looking for a steal here, and I'm pretty convinced that they're going into the house for a second one, making it as hard as possible for David Murdoch to draw in. Hard sweeping there. They really want this rock to finish, and freezing right on top of the shot rock. Once again, well done by the finish. And David Murdoch is in a little bit of trouble here. Still, at the moment, he's leading the game 5-4. Therefore, it wouldn't be a big problem for him if Uzi Pomniemi scores 1 point, or better, steals 1 point. At the moment, though, it looks as if Team Finland is going to steal 2 points, which would be a problem for David Murdoch. So let's see what David Murdoch came up with. He's looking to get some movement out of these two rocks to make sure that the Finnish team is only getting 1 point. Once again, he's wide and heavy on that one. Another big miss by David Murdoch. We're not used to seeing that from him. I'm sure Uzi Pomniemi is quite happy that he's seeing these misses in a game against Murdoch. And I got quite a personal question in here by Martin Miller. He wants to know whether I play curling myself as well, how long I'm playing, and which major successes I have in my history. Well, I am still an active Swiss junior. I'm playing for the junior team from Bern, the capital of Switzerland. You'll find me under www.teambern.ch. As I mentioned before, my name is Daniel Schifferle. I play curling since the beginning of 1998, and my major success so far is winning the gold medal at the European Junior or the European Youth Olympic Festival 2009, as well as winning the European Junior Champions Tour 2010, and some other minor successes. You'll find that on the website www.teambern.ch. I'm happy to commentate here from the Baden Masters 2011, and I hope that you guys are enjoying both the webcast and at least parts of my commentary here. And we just got a really nice compliment here. Coming in from Finland. This guy really likes our coverage and we're glad that he does so. Thank you for the compliment and we'll keep doing our best here. So Uzi Pomniemi is still sitting shot rock on top of the forefoot. The Scots are looking to change that right now, attacking the rock directly. As you can see, only Glenn Muirhead is sweeping. As mentioned before, the third of the team pulled a muscle in the first draw of this end, or of this competition, sorry for that one. He's able to deliver rocks, but he's unable to sweep right now. Luckily, there was no sweeping necessary on this shot. Unfortunately, the shot was kind of a miss, though. So the momentum in this game really changed within the last few ends. We're now after 7 ends, with a score 6-5 in favor of the Finnish team, playing against David Murdoch, telling after David Murdoch's change in body language he's not quite happy with the result. We're in the final end of this quarterfinal game at the Baden Masters 2011. Murdoch is having last rock advantage. Let's see whether he's able to use it or not. This guy playing here is Uzi Pomniemi himself. You might remember him from his participation in the Olympic Games. Clean takeout here, no problems whatsoever. And we'll give you a quick update on what's happening on the other sheets. On sheet number 1, we've got a Swiss duel between two young teams, Hess and Michel. Team Michel is leading that game at the score of 4-3 after 7 ends. Then on sheet number 2, we've got the game we're covering. Murdoch is 1 rock in behind. Uzi Pomniemi leading that game 6-5. On sheet number 3, that's what we covered initially. Andy Kapp, the legendary skip from Germany, he defeated Thomas Ulsrud, the silver medalist from Vancouver 2010, with a defeating score of 9-2 after only 4 ends. And on the last sheet, current runner-up of the World Championships 2011, silver medalist Tom Brewster from Scotland. He won 8-5 against a young Swiss team, Maiko Oeninger, which takes us back to our game. Uzi Pomniemi still lying shot, Murdoch lying second. David Murdoch is looking for 2 points in this end. While Uzi Pomniemi wants to cut him down to only 1 point in order to force him into extra ends. Once again, we are happy to answer your questions. Just send us an email to live@curlingchampionstour.org. We're answering as many questions as possible. My name is Daniel Schifferle. I'm broadcasting from Baden. And just as a quick announcement, we're going to cover both final games tomorrow, both the semi-final and of course, the final itself. Semi-final will begin at 9 o'clock, while the finals is on the way at 1:30 in the afternoon. That's tomorrow. We would be happy to have you here on our webcast. And this is the Scottish attempt for a freeze here. They were lucky that it was a little bit on the light side because it didn't curl a hell of a lot. Nicely positioned there though. The possibility for a jam is pretty big, but look at David Murdoch there. He doesn't like the situation at all right now. Look at him. Look at this facial expression. That's full-time athlete David Murdoch. I'm sure you know him all pretty well. So Finnish team trying to get some movement there. I don't know whether that was the one thing they wanted to do. You can almost see the thoughts running through the head of this man standing in the house. What is he going to come up with? He's still looking to score 2 points in this final end of the quarterfinal here at the Baden Master 2011. Not only Murdoch himself is not sure what to do, so are the 3 fellow players of him. Now they decided on a hit and roll. Glenn Muirhead is going to deliver the rock. What a beautiful shot. Very well done. Even though they really wanted to roll a bit farther. Usipamniemi still lying shot and second. And I think he's just going to close things down. He's in a pretty comfortable situation right now. Whereas the team around David Murdoch from Scotland has quite a troublesome road to their goal of achieving 2 points in this end ahead of them. And the finished rock is coming down nicely, as I predicted. Usipalniemi just closed this port to get to the center of the house. And even more important, to those two yellow rocks. The amount of possibilities in this end here for David Murdoch and his team is getting smaller and smaller. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a run back. Right now they are not considering it, but they even have the possibility to go over their very own yellow rock, which you can see on the right hand side of Glen Muirhead right now. No matter which one they're going to decide on, they have a tough shot ahead of them. I've been trying to find out what the meanings of the numbers on the back of the jerseys, of the Scottish jerseys, are. I couldn't find any answer. If someone could answer this question, please write me an answer onto live@curlingchampionship or at curlingchampionstour.org, live@curlingchampionstour.org. I am wondering, what is the meaning of these numbers on the back side of the Scottish jerseys? If someone knows that, please write me an email. So, as you have seen, it's a team decision. They decided on the rock in the middle. That's the one they're trying to push back, trying to run back onto the yellow ones. And really nicely executed, opening things up front and even leaving one yellow rock in the house. And Stephen was wondering whether there are time limits, since David really took his time. We're talking about David Murdoch here. Well, Stephen, there are no time limits here at this event, the Baden Masters 2011, part of the Curling Champions Tour. So David can really take as much time as he wants. Very typical body language by the Scottish here. They're not happy with the situation, but they haven't given up just yet. They're still fighting. And having an open house here is certainly a good thing for them, since they have the last rock advantage. I'm pretty sure that we'll see at least an extra end here.
Not really, Ross, because then it's an easy slash or centre. It's got to be honest.
So I just got some news from the umpires. I'm happy to announce that we are going to cover the game between Andy Kapp and Sven Michel tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. That's a semi-final game. Michel versus Kapp at 9 o'clock. Most probably it's not going to be me doing commentary, but I leave my job here to the very capable hands and to the capable voice of Brian Gray. For now, it's still me, Daniel Schifferle, here on the mic. And we're watching David Murdoch delivering his first rock of this final 8th end. And he's trying to go right on top of this rock there. There's a little bit of a separation, which gives a chance to Uzi Palmiemi to just get rid of that rock. If he does so, we'll see most probably an extra end. Palmiemi's fourth with the last rock of the finish during irregular ends here. Trying to get rid of that yellow rock, and he does without any problems. Now we're going to see David Murdoch trying to score 1 point in order to force Uzi Palmiemi into an extra end. So Norma Bradshaw actually answered my question. I wanted to know, what do those numbers mean on the back of the Scottish jerseys? Norma thinks that they don't mean anything. They just wanted to make hurling look more like other team sports. For example, basketball, hockey, or American football. This might be true for this Scottish team here and for other teams. But I know for sure that the numbers on the back side of the old Furby team, Randy Furby from Canada, do mean something. For example, for Furby himself, it's 64. That's 6 Canadian titles, 4 world titles. That's what 64 means on the back of Randy Furby's jersey. But of course Randy Furby is not here at this event this year. It's David Murdoch and Uzi Palmiemi who are going to play an extra end here at the Baden Masters 2011. So once again, as an announcement, tomorrow morning we're going to cover the semi-finals of this event. It's going to be the game between Sven Michel and Andy Kapp from Germany. I'm sure that's going to be a very exciting game. Be sure to check it out tomorrow morning. Even more exciting right now is, of course, David Murdoch trying to steal in this extra end of the quarterfinals at the Baden Masters. That's the Scottish lead here. looking for a center guard. Again, perfect weight control. Just curled a tiny bit too much. Still, it's on the edge of the center line. That's what exactly the position they were looking for. So what we have seen here is an attempt for a soft peel. Didn't quite happen. Scottish rock is still really centered, giving the Scots the opportunity to just put up another center guard right behind that one. They really want it to be a guard. They don't want to buy a piece of the house. And they just happen to do so. So Uzi Palmiemi, of course, he says it's biting the house. And apparently Murdoch agreed. Quite a big of movement here. They're not able to get rid of the shooter as well, leaving another rock in play, another one which can be used as a guard. So far everything is in favor for Team Murdoch in this end. Big brushing effort here by the two Scottish sweepers. Are they able to keep it on track, drag it by? They are. Still, this rock is leaving a chance for a double takeout for the Finns. Pretty sure they're going to try this double takeout. Having last rock advantage, of course, it's their task now to open up the free guard zone. To have as many ways as possible to draw the last rock to the center and win this game. Markku Uzi Palmiemi attempting a double takeout here. He doesn't achieve his goal, One rock is still sticking around. Markku Uusipaniemi, the silver medalist of the Olympic Games 2006. One interesting fact about him, his nickname is U15. This nickname is coming from the fact that his last name has 15 letters. Really nice come around here. Perfect finish of that rock. Lying just at the edge of the forefoot. On the tee line. Buried behind a guard. So once again, U15 trying to open things up. This time he succeeds. Opening the house beautifully. Though there's another yellow rock sticking around in the house. I'm pretty sure that this one won't count in the end. But you never know. So Glenn Murad having the task of putting up another guard. And this one is really moving. Got a little bit of a rub there and really want to get it in. Heavy sweeping. They were just able to cover the shot rock partially. I'm not sure whether this is enough to keep this guy, Uusipaniemi, from attacking the shot rock. No problems at all for the finish. Due to the opening of this end, though, there are still 2 guards, even 3 guards in the 3-guard zone. More than enough for David Murdoch to draw behind. He's still looking to steal in this extra end of the quarterfinal here at the Baden Masters 2011. Really nice finish here. They pound on it as they sweep as hard as they can to cover it. The rock did dig in a bit, but the rock didn't curl enough. It's not completely buried behind the guard. Still, Usipalniemi is considering a run back instead of a direct attack. He decided, though, that you can see enough of the rock for a direct attack. And you can see those guys are not happy with what's happening right now. Beautiful run back. Are they able to get that yellow one out? And yes, they are. But still, even though this rock was beautifully played, there's still 2 guards there, quite close to the center. And that's where David Murdoch is going to draw. That's that one little chance. He's still clinching to steal a point in this extra end. David Murdoch, skip of the Scottish team, attempting to come around the 2 guards, trying to sit right on the tee line. And this rock is really heavy, going right to the back of the 12-foot, hanging around. But not causing any problems for the Finnish force here. And it looks like we have a fast path there. This one is pretty heavy as well. Giving Murdoch a nice backing for his last attempt to steal a point in this extra end here. So David Murdoch, the Scottish skip, trying to draw and steal a point in this game against silver medalist from the Winter Olympic Games 2006 from Finland, U15. It looks pretty heavy to me, but the line is okay. Line shot. Almost the entire 4-foot circle is wide open. This shouldn't be a big problem for the Finnish fourth. Still, we've seen it before in Baden. Rocks can always pick something. The odds are definitely not good for the Scottish team right now. Everything is in the hands of the Finnish now. Fourth player of Team Finland around Uzi Pavoniemi, trying to make use of the last rock advantage in this extra end here in the quarterfinals at the Baden Masters 2011. This rock is looking pretty close. Big sweeping effort there. He's a little bit light. Will they be able to drag it in? It's close. It's close. We might see a measure here. To be honest, I can't tell which rock is better from here. They're shaking hands. Someone must be better. I don't know who it is yet. Apparently it's Team Scotland. The team around David Murdoch just got lucky here. So they're going to be in the semi-final tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed our webcast live from the Baden Masters 2011. This is the Curling Champions Tour. My name is Daniel Schifferle. It was an honor and a pleasure to cover these two games actually today. Thanks for having me. Goodbye for tonight.